观众朋友们，大家好，这里是中国体育为您带来的世界杯球星专访节目。今天登陆我们节目的王牌球星正是素有金色轰炸机之称的德国足坛名宿克林斯曼。首先请他来给大家打一个招呼，just say hello to your Chinese fans.
Yeah, hello here from Doha in Qatar.
And how many times have you participated in the World Cup as a coach, as a player, and as a FIFA staff?
It's my first time to do this work for the FIFA, but at the same time I also do television work. So I work usually the tournaments that I don't coach. So I coach 2 tournaments, I played 3 tournaments. The other tournaments I always work for television stations, if it's in Germany or United States. I'm always connected to the game. I want to watch games. I love to watch games.
You enjoy it.
And I'm pleased that I get this opportunity. I'm very happy.
So is there any differences between the different roles?
Yeah, because when you do work for television, for example, or even now analyzing work for FIFA and helping, you're very relaxed. Because you're not under pressure. You don't have to win the game. You watch, you come as a fan. You come as a fan. Even when I watch now Germany play, I will be a fan. Or I watch the United States, I'm going to be a fan. So much easier. But if you want a little bit more drama, you want more excitement, and that's obviously when you're a coach and you're responsible for a team, for a nation, then you are far more tense, you are far more, you're working like 24 hours a day for the entire tournament. So it's more stressful, but it's also a lot more fun.
Yeah, in my opinion, absolutely, is to be a player is most nervous, and to be the commentator is more relaxed. So, which role is your favorite?
The most wonderful role that you can have is to play a World Cup as a player, and this is a moment to shine. This is a moment that you dreamed about as a child, you know. So there's nothing more exciting than playing the World Cup. After that, if you get the opportunity to coach in a World Cup, that is fun too, but then you have a big responsibility for a lot of people. There's nothing nicer than playing.
Yeah, I am so curious about which role is more difficult for you.
Most difficult role is the coach. Yeah, most difficult. As a player, you are part of 11 on the field, and the entire group, maybe 20, 25 players. So you try to do your best as a player, but you know, maybe you have a bad day and your teammate has a good day, and you kind of balance it out. As a coach, you're responsible for the team. You are responsible for a big staff around the team, medical staff, media staff, scouting staff, administrative staff, data staff now, you know, data people coming in. Yeah. So the staff is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but at the same time, you gotta keep your focus on all the players, and hopefully you make the right decisions with putting your 11 players on the field, giving the right instructions. So the responsible for a coach, a manager today is big.
And you have mentioned that you like making goals. And among the 11 goals you had made for the World Cup, which one is more exciting for you or unforgettable for you among the 11 goals?
I mean, every goal in a World Cup is special, but you know, you had some moments where you knew that the game is 50-50 between the 2 teams. And when you score in a 50-50 game, like it happened to me in 1990 against Holland, that's a special goal.
Yeah, because it breaks the balance.
Yeah, so you break the balance and you make it probably good to win for your country, Germany. And that's probably maybe then the most important goals. You know, maybe not the most beautiful one, but the most important one.
But the most meaningful for you.
Yeah, meaningful, yeah.
Like the younger player, like younger strikers in German team, who is your favorite?
I think, you know, right now in Germany, we all are excited about Jamal Musiala. Musiala we like a lot because he's so fresh, he's so easy, he's so elegant in his movements, and he can score. And we are so surprised that he's so young, you know, and already performs on such a high level. So I think he can be one of the discovery is in this World Cup from a young player perspective. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, like the Werner. How do you think of him? Because he is being called in China like the golden schools with his poor performance in the league. So in the Chelsea.
Well, I think we have right now in Germany a lot of a discussion happening, about a future number 9. This whole World Cup is a little bit of discovery. Are we going back to real number 9s? Like you see maybe Lewandowski,
Or Klose.
Or Klose years before. So in Germany it was a trend over the last years that we have a lot of players that just change positions, a bit like England in terms of Sterling or Foden or Mount and all these players, or Saka. In Germany we have the same. We have Sané, we have Gnabry, we have
Jimmy.
And so we lost a little bit this kind of number 9 situation. So there is a desire for many nationalities now, many teams, many countries, to go back to the number 9s.
Yeah, this is a question I want to ask too, because normally when we look back to the games the Germany team have played, they always play the form like 4-2-3-1, and this formation needs a striker center to have really high ability to control the ball or to make the ball for his friend, for his team worker, to make many chance to achieve the goal. But do you think like the halves or the Werner can't play?
Well, it depends on a lot of how the opponents play against you. When you don't play with a real number 9, it depends how then the opponent reacts. And for example, if they play 3 central defenders and you don't have a number 9, so then you lose 3 players against nobody, right? So when they just float around, then you say, okay, then we don't need 3 center backs, and we should play maybe only with 4 and move more forward. So it's a lot of tactical games from managers, from coaches happening there. But I think in the future we're going to see again more number 9s. I think we're going to go back a little bit to number 9s, because at the end of the day the goals are scored in the box, get the ball into the 18-yard box, and then you need a number 9. You need somebody who can score, because you see less and less goals from the outside the box, with long-range shots, and you see less and less goals often from the wings. So people realize, okay, when teams defend so deep with so many players, then you need somebody in there that is quick and is thinking and is quick with his feet, just to put the ball, into the back of the net. And so I think in this World Cup we see a trend going back to a number 9.
Yeah. Did you watch the group match of the United States? And what do you think of the United States prospects in the World Cup?
Yeah, I think the United States has a lot of potential in this World Cup to get out of a difficult group. And I watched the first game, and was a very even game. First half was for the United States, second half was for Wales, so it was the tie, 1-1 was over. But the United States, for the first time ever, is coming to a World Cup with 4 or 5 players that play for Champions League teams. Yeah. And that's something new for the United States. It's wonderful. That's something that people were working for a long time, to get players into Champions League teams. Now it finally happens. So now the expectations also go higher. It says, okay, now we have Pulisic, we have Weston McKennie, we have Serginho Dest, we have and other players that play Champions League. So now you want to see them also go further, not only out of the group, maybe even further in the tournament. And so I'm very curious to see how far they can go.
Yeah, and as a coach, you have participated in the many, like the big stage, like the World Cup and the other competitions. So, do you have any rules or to control or to manage the team in the big stage? Any secret?
I think, a lot of people on the outside think that the manager, the coach, is so busy with doing tactical things and training sessions and doing all the the football things, but the biggest part of your work as a manager is to manage people. So it's people management. It's to have to look after your players, to treat every player, you know, in its own way, because every person is different. So I treat every person a bit more like this person is. So you learn, as a coach, you learn a lot about different characters, you know, and not only your players, but also all the people that work with the players, you know, the medical physiotherapists, the scouts, the media people that work with you. So it's a lot of handling people, and you try to create an environment of energy, and optimism, you know, confidence. And you want that everybody is convinced that we can do well now going in a World Cup. So you have to energize this entire environment. And this is a lot of work. There are some super coaches that can do that, like a Jürgen Klopp in Liverpool. He's a master in energy. You know, he can keep the energy. Everybody feels good around him. Or Pep Guardiola, you know, or Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid. So you have managers that are really, they're very good football brains, which is important, but they also have very good relationships with everyone. You know, you need to be good in balancing basically all these people and to solve problems.
Yeah.
You need to be a problem solver. You need to understand when there's a conflict, people maybe fight, something is on. So now you got to come in and you got to figure out to solve these different characters, you know. And when you have now in this tournament 26 players, so you have to manage 26 different characters, and in the male environment, we have always a hierarchy, you know, between players, because you know the captain wants to be the top player, and so there are categories of players based on a hierarchy of a group. In every working environment, it is like that, and you have to manage that as a coach, and sometimes it's very tricky, but it's also fascinating. I love to do that, and Jürgen Klopp loves to do that. Pep Guardiola loves to do that, and that's the main part of your work. It's really managing people.
Yeah. As you mentioned, one word, conflict. Did you notice that are paying some attention to the Cristiano with Manchester United? What do you think of it?
Yeah, I think it's a very good example. So Cristiano now comes into this World Cup from a very few difficult months, you know, now with Manchester United. And because things didn't work out. He wanted to play more, and maybe the club had different ideas. Doesn't matter. But Cristiano Ronaldo is a wonderful example of how to focus on the things that really are important. So he will come into this World Cup very hungry, because he's angry.
Yeah.
He's angry about things were not okay for him. And if he can now take this anger into energy and energizes the Portuguese team and says, but we're going to do well now, Portugal can even win the World Cup. Because if you have a really 100% focused and energized Cristiano Ronaldo, you have one of the best players in the world with you still. It doesn't matter if he's a little bit older. And the same with Messi, the same with Argentina. You know, everybody wants Messi to win this World Cup, finally. And these are very special characters, very special players. And I think this makes this World Cup so excited, because we have with Messi and Ronaldo, the two players that are so hungry for winning a World Cup. So it gives it another dimension, this World Cup.
Yeah. Next question is like a rumor. Several years ago in China, there's a rumor that you will come to China to teach, to be a coach. And you said before, you never know what will happen in the future. So how about now?
And it will be always like this. Yes, you are right. You know, a few years ago I talked with China, and I talked to Marcelo Lippi. You know, he's a friend of mine. And then Marcelo actually said, no, I continue. But life is wonderful because you never, and especially in football, you don't know what happens tomorrow. You don't know who you meet tomorrow. I never thought I gonna coach Germany. I lived in California, life was good, you know, and then Germany suddenly called and said, you have to help us. Same with United States, or every path or decision in your life is a little bit of a surprise. And in football, especially in football, you never know what happens tomorrow. And I'm so happy to be here now in Qatar, to be and watch the games. And tomorrow I will meet maybe people that I didn't expect to meet. Yeah. And then after the World Cup, suddenly you say, okay, I go back into coaching. And if not, no problem, then I can do other work as well. But this is the beauty of football, that it's always about what is next. It's not about what was behind you. You know, it was not important that you played or that you coached before. It's what is important is what comes next. It's life.
Yeah, we will expect you come to China.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not sure. In 2019, you came to China and watched the game, the match of the China Super League.
Yes.
So, what do you think of the development of Chinese football?
I was very, very impressed when I had the opportunity to come to China and to watch the game in Beijing and meet people. I mean, it was a German coaching staff. So I wish that this path continues in China, that they continue to build and build. Yeah, maybe and hopefully one day you can host a World Cup.
Yeah, and any words to your Chinese fans? Because in China, I have so many fans to love you and support you.
I know that in China, you know, really, really popular is ping pong, no? Table tennis, you know. And we have one very good ping pong player in Germany, and I know he's very popular. Yes, and he's very, very popular there. No, I think it's wonderful that, you know, football plays a big role in the Chinese life now, more and more and more. And I hope that it gets deeper into the school system for the kids. I hope that they get the opportunity to play more on a children level, and then it will continue to grow. Yeah, I watch it. I will watch it.
Okay, thank you very much for today's interview, and we are very happy to have the interview with you. Thank you very much.
No, likewise. I was very happy
and
to.
Looking forward to one day you will go back to work as the coach. I'm looking forward to your games.
Thank you. Yeah, I will try.